before we talk about the upcoming concert on August 12th in downtown Fort Smith, Abbie, I know single parent has been around for a long time, and you and I have had this conversation in the past, but just in case there are people that don't know, talk about what single parent scholarship is all about.
Oh, single parent scholarships been around since 1990, and we've been helping single parents who were notoriously women in the lower wage earning brackets to be able to learn a trade, learn a skill, go back to school, get some type of education that will pull them and their families out of poverty.
And how do you find them, or how do they find you?
Ooh, Arkansas, ASPCF.org. You can type in Arkansas Single Parent Scholarship Fund. And I'm so glad you asked, because the spring scholarship cycle opens Wednesday, the 15th. And so be sure and get on. If you have any trouble, you're going to be connected immediately with the program manager. She's going to walk you through all the ups and downs about getting your documents uploaded, and you'll be ready to go for the spring semester.
One of the ways that you all raise money for this program, and here as of late, last couple of 3 or 4 years or so, having concerts, and that's why we've got Trey Taylor on the line with us as well. And Trey, welcome. Thank you for agreeing to help out with this. Talk about what your music and your concert's going to be about come the 12th.
Well, thank you so very much for having me. I'm so very excited. I've actually been sitting down the past couple of weeks and writing a new show for them, because they've had me the past 2 years, so they know all my songs by heart now. But actually, I'm going to be doing a very narrative show, where basically what I want to do is I found these great story songs that kind of tell my story, tell the scholarship story, and putting those stories together. And I'm so very excited because, you know, everything that the scholarship represents really represents me. I had a single parent who had to choose between working and getting a higher education. And so I understand firsthand. As a matter of fact, every year when I get to meet the scholars' families and the kids come up to me, I see myself in them. And so that's a very rare thing, and especially to find a cause that I can so closely identify with. So I'm just very, very thrilled to get an opportunity to come on back.
Yeah.
So, and I know you've not, like you said, you've been here the last couple of years, but you really do give of yourself to organizations like this. Talk about that for just a second.
Well, I think it's so important, you know, I know when I first came to Nashville, I was working with Dolly Parton's producer, Kent Wells, and I'd get to be around Dolly a lot. And one of the things that I noticed about her was that she didn't wait until she was a gazillionaire and a mega star to start helping people. You know, she started from the very beginning. And I think one of the biggest reasons why I do these shows is to show every artist in the world that if you've got a talent, you know, that at any level you're at, you can contribute and make a difference. And so every year we actually handpick some organizations that I'm really fascinated by and think I can bring something to. And when I first found the scholarship fund 3 years ago, it was during the pandemic, and it so lifted me out of a lot of because I could put myself towards something very, very productive. And this is a program that has been just so incredible. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Miss Abbie, because she's been such a superwoman in putting these things together. And I was telling her the other day that her personal enthusiasm for the program is so infectious. And it's why I've, you know, been wanting to keep coming back year after year.
You know, Abbie, it's interesting that when we have concerts like this with a big name like this really does get the word out about what the scholarship program is all about.
Yeah, and it means so much to our students, because they look and they go, he was a single parent. And then the students' kids look at him and go, his mom was a singer. It just ties everything together, and they walk away with so much hope. And Trey is such a gentleman with them and spends so much time with them, and they just walk away more hopeful. It's wonderful.
Trey, talk about the style of music that you're so famous for now.
Well, I've always said that if Ronnie Millsap, Kenny Rogers, Glenn Campbell, and Ray Charles all had a baby, it'd be me. No, my musical background was completely based out of traditional country music. As a matter of fact, my hero was Arkansas native Glenn Campbell. He was my everything growing up, and he was my Superman. And so, of course, the artists that I follow in country music, those legends, so many of them I've got to meet and know personally. Their music spanned beyond country into pop and rock and roll and soul music and things. And so I've always tried to reflect that musical versatility while really maintaining that country music foundational integrity in my music. You know, I know that we've got country pop now on radio, but it's kind of a different country pop than I do. My country pop is really foundational in country music, but we add a couple things. But I would say also that I've been so blessed to have heroes that were so versatile and were so outreaching of different kinds of talent, that country music's been just such a great place for me to sing all the things I want to sing and say all the things I want to say.
All right, we need to talk about tickets, Abbie. How do you get this? How do you get tickets, and what time of day are we talking about here on the 12th?
On the 12th, doors open at 5:30. You can buy a ticket at the door. I would rather that you got a ticket ahead of time on Arkansas Single Parent Scholarship Fund.com, ASPCF.com. Also, you can go directly to the Majestic and get tickets there. And so there's VIP tables, there's regular tables, there's seats, there's just anything that you could any way that you can imagine. So
well, and also and I also want to add that we've got a great opening act in Who Shot JR is going to be opening up the show. I didn't shoot him, by the way. But but yes. Who Shot JR is going to be coming on before. And I'll tell you what, there's so very few causes in this day and time that really it has nothing that people can argue and fuss about, and something that is truly bringing people together. And in terms of you don't have to pay Taylor Swift ticket money to come to this. This is something where you can bring your whole family and bring your folks, and every dime is going to this incredible cause, and is not only impacting the scholars themselves, but their families and their futures. And so it's actually very, very exciting to see and track where their donor dollars going to go. So this is a really special one to go to.
And the timing couldn't be better because it's supposed to be not 110 degrees on August 12th. So hopefully that's the case.
Good.
We have some great sponsors, Art Vest.
Yeah, let's talk about that just for a second, Abbie. Talk about who's helping you out with this.
Art Vest helped us out so much. Trent Goins helped us out at the Majestic, Simmons Bank, First Star Bank, First National Bank, all of the banks and the hospitals. And so it's been wonderful. Trey just may tell you about the album that he's currently recording here in Fort Smith at Soul Studios.
Oh, yes, I am. I have to quickly mention that. Yeah, actually, I had heard about Soul Studios years ago, and it was not until I got to do my very first performance for the scholarship back in 2020 that I got to visit Soul. And I was just in Fort Smith last week doing a recording session there. So Arkansas, particularly Fort Smith, is like a new home for me now. So I love it. And I'm so very excited to celebrate the great state of Arkansas with that.
All right, both of you, thank you so much. Trey, a pleasure as always. Abbie, we'll hopefully get a bunch of people out there.
I would love that. And you have to come next year. We have to clear your calendar.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Awesome.